I'm back with you to check the inside of the bus. And the quick answer to what do we check on the inside of the bus is everything. So I'm going to start off as I walk into the bus checking, a neat little reminder is the 5 and 2 items. We do 5 safety items, pieces of hardware, and then we do 2 paperwork type items that are on the bus, that have to be on the bus for us to leave the property. So as I start up the stairs, I have to come in here. It's a double check, but I grab the rails, I look at the steps, everything looks good. I'll take one step up, and I'm going to start with my 5 and 2 with the 5 safety items. My first item that I'm going to check is that I have my triangles that I can deploy if I have a breakdown to let people know that the bus is broken down on the side of the road. They're in a box sealed up. That's good. I don't have to open them. They're sealed in there. The next thing I'm going to check is the first aid kit. Now, every bus has a first aid kit. The first aid kit can be in different locations. On this bus, it's right here by the door. The thing you want to look for is a sealed up kit. This bus has a sealed kit. There's a seal that is broken if it's used. You don't want to take a bus out that has a used up first aid kit. If it's been used, you have to turn it in. The mechanics will get you a new one. But we have a first aid kit, it's sealed, and we're really happy about that. We come up another stair, and we're going to look for our fire extinguisher. Now, our fire extinguisher has to be mounted securely, which means it's strapped in. It cannot leave the holder by mistake. It has to have a tag that says it's good in 2019, and this one is. It has to have the pressure indicator in the green area, and that is. So this extinguisher also has a safety tag on it. If somebody had used it and pulled the pin, that would be broken, and you'd have to get this serviced. This extinguisher is good. Now, the other things on our 5 and 2, we have 3 things so far. We need 2 more. The next item that we're going to find is our seatbelt cutter. Most of the time, it's located out of the children's reach over to this driver's left side, and that's here for emergency use only. Now we're going to find our spit up kit, and this bus has a kit for catching or a sick passenger or something like that, and clean up items for that occurrence. So that's all set. We're good with that.
Yes.
So the 2 items that paperwork wise we're looking for, they start up here. We have our accident reporting kit, which is our package that has all our paperwork that we need to run the bus. Inside this kit, there is a insurance card for this bus. It's current for this year. There is a copy of the registration, which we need should we have to hand that to a police officer. And there's an accident report form should we have to get information down should something happen, so that we could record all that. Keep in mind that if you do have a problem, such as a traffic accident, you always advise your dispatcher, and they will give you the information you need to take care of the situation at that time. But you got a good start on it with this. So the bus has the required paperwork. Over here on the windshield, all buses in New York State are inspected twice a year, and it's recorded with a windshield sticker. This bus is good. We have our sticker, and we're good to go with that. If you had a red sticker in the middle of the windshield, you can't use that bus. Don't even think about taking it out of the garage. But we have the proper sticker here. So I've got my 5 and 2. I'm going to come over to the driver's seat that we have set right now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my left directional, and I can look out the window. I see in the crossover mirror, I can see a blinking light. I don't know if the camera can catch that, but it is out there. I look down the side of the bus in the mirror, and if I just move my head a little bit, I can see the flasher on the side of the bus is flashing appropriately. We will look out the back door later on to see if the back light is flashing to make sure that we have a complete left turn signal indication. The amber lights are going to be checked now. If you remember, we checked the red lights because we had to have the door open to get out. So now we're going to close the door. The door is closed. We can activate the amber switch here and then fully rock it forward and check our crossovers, and we have the 8-way system that's been activated with the amber lights. That's the way we want to leave it. We're going to check the inside of the bus. We need to have the red lights on for the emergency exits. They only go on this bus if you have the headlights activated or the parking lights activated. So I'm looking in the passenger mirror and I see my red lights are on. I'm happy with that. Everything else is good. So what we're going to do is get up and start to check some other features inside the bus. The first thing I can do when I get up is I check to make sure my seat is secure, that my seat belt is okay, that nobody is tied in knots as a hobby on the last run. So my seat belt's good, my seat is good. I check the backs and the padding here to make sure everything's intact. There's no cuts, there's no damage to them. And I'm going to go down the bus and check the backs of the seats. This particular bus has extra child seats in it. They have to be stowed up. When we look at the seats on the way back, we also make sure that our seat belts are in order and that they are usable. They can't be knotted up, they can't be crossed over. They have to be in a position so a child can use them easily. They don't have to think about it too much. So as you can see, these are buckled and the colors are correct. This belt is actually the belt for outside here, but we tuck it in so it doesn't get in the aisle and catch your feet. So these belts are ready to be used, and that's the way we like to see them. So we're going to walk back on the bus here, check the seat backs, look at the seat belts, and as we go down the side, we come to emergency exits. Now, when we get to an emergency exit, the window exit I should say, we're going to check them. Every emergency exit has to be labeled. This is labeled. Every emergency exit has a red handle. When I raise the handle, I should hear a buzzer. This one buzzes. We have to make sure it opens without any resistance, and it's a good usable exit. This one passed. We click it back together. There's another exit on this side. We do the same thing. Labeling's good. The handle works smoothly. The buzzer comes on. We like that. Open the window, close it. We're happy with that. Now we keep going back. It's a scan the seats, wiggle the seat backs. We're good. Come to another kind of exit. This side door exit has a red light. The red light must work. This one does. It has a head bumper. It has labeling, top and bottom. Now we're going to try the inside handle. It should activate the buzzer. The door should move freely. We don't have to open it wide open because we did that before on the outside, but we make sure the mechanism works and it reconnects. Everything's secure and the buzzer goes off. That's a good door. We can look. We don't have the same kind of seat belts on this seat, the flip-up seat, but they're on automatic retractors and they are there and available. We keep going back. We're going to hit another set of emergency windows here in a second. Our seat backs are good. Our seat belts look good. My labeling on this emergency exit is good. Trying the handle. Door opens, or window opens freely. Now we're doing this in the summer. In the winter, you can get ice built up. They can get frozen. You might need to put some oomph in it to open it, but we always check them because they have to be usable. Marking's good. The buzzer worked, and it was a smooth operation. We keep going to the back. We're looking. Everything looks good. Get to the back of the bus. We have a red light, which marks the emergency exit door. We have a head bumper that's secure. We have a big handle here. When we raise the handle, the door alarm will go off and we'll be able to swing the door out. Our markings look good, both top and bottom. We open that door. First thing I look at is down low on the left side of the bus. I got a blinking light. Then I go up and I look for those ambers. And I see the ambers. I'm happy with that. Again, I saw a blinking light there, and I saw both amber lights up there. So we know we're good with that. Now we're going to come back forward. Now an anomaly in the bus is some of these seats can come loose, the bottom cushion. So we check them. You check near where the bottom meets the top. You try to pick up on them. And if you get a loose one, it'll come right up in your hands. As we come up, usually count about 4 seats up. And you're going to come to a roof hatch. So that's about 4. Right here is a roof hatch, emergency exit. Again, an emergency exit will have a red handle. So we have to check the operation of this to make sure it will operate. And here we go. We're going to push up in the back, push up in the front. We're open. We have a red handle. If we start to rotate the handle, it should activate a buzzer. Now, you don't have to rotate it a lot. It's just like 1/8 of a turn. So I start turning it counterclockwise, slowly. There's my buzzer. I'm happy with that. I turn it back to the secure spot, and I pull it down, and I'm set. That's a good exit. Okay. Then I come back. I'm checking seats. No problem there. This is a flip-up seat. We know it works. These seats are good. These seats are good. I got another roof hatch. It's labeled, same procedure as we did before. Grab the red handle, push up on the front. It's open correctly. We twist the handle. There is an arrow saying which way. It's counterclockwise. Just a little bit, and then the alarm goes off. We're happy with that. We pull it closed, and it's tight. That's good. Then we keep coming forward. Our seats are passing. We're all the way up. So far, so good. We go to the driver's seat again. Now, we're going to change some things around. We're going to start with a left hand on the panel here on the left. We can check all these switches and the things they operate. So right now, I'm going to check the forward fan, or it's a heater box under the forward seats. And you can hear it go. It's a 2-speed, so there's low speed and there's off. I'm going to check the driver dome light. For that one, I look straight up. And that's the one light that comes on the whole bus that's right above my head. That's my reading light, so I can see the routes when we're out early in the morning and it's not light out yet. They have the rear dome switch. Now for that, I turn the switch on, but a bus driver never turns around like this. A bus driver always looks in the passenger mirror to see what's back there. And I see I have 4 dome lights on. That's what I wanted to see. So I'll turn them off. There's another switch that says front dome. I'm going to turn that switch on and use the passenger mirror again and make sure that those came on. And they did. So I'm happy with that. Red warning lights is not illuminated now because they're not on. But the amber warning light switch or indicator is lit up because my ambers are on. I don't need my ambers anymore, so I'm going to turn them off. That switch goes to neutral. And I look out there, my ambers are off right there. Then I go down to the next row of switches. ID light, we checked those earlier, we know they work. The mirror heat, all I can do is turn it on and I get an on light indication. There's no way I can check the actual mirror heat right now because it shouldn't come on and you'd have to wait for it to heat up out there. So if you get an indication that the light comes on, that's what we'll take. Destination sign, we looked at that earlier. Now this is WS DEF fan. That means windshield defroster fan. Buses usually have 2 fans. This one is the windshield defroster fan. Right here. It's rotatable, you can aim it at what you want, but it's designed to keep this large area free of frost on the window. It's 2-speed, I just kicked it down to low. But that should be working fine. You don't want to leave the garage without a fan. Now we have LS defroster fan, left side defroster fan. Right above my left side is a defroster fan. I turn it on, I get cool air, high speed, there we go, we got both speeds. The next light indicator, it says brake lights. Now, if you're checking your bus by yourself, you really can't run back there fast enough and check the brake lights. So what they have is a system, if I put my foot on the brake, that lights up. That means I got good brake lights. So you can see it's dim, it's bright. It's dim, it's bright. Okay? So that passes. Now we're going to go to the next rocker switch, step heat. Okay? The front of the bus, the entryway has a heater that blows on those steps to defrost them. Gives you heat in the driver area too. That works fine. It's a 2-speed. I don't know if you could hear it, but there was a low and a high. There's low and there's high. Now we have what's called the aft heater all the way to the back, almost to the last seat. There's a heater back there. We will hear it. It's kind of quiet. That's high speed. So we're happy with that. We go to the next line down. This post strip doesn't concern us right now. Luggage lights. You can rock it forward. There's power to the system. We don't go out and check right now. If you were going to go out at night, I would open the doors underneath and make sure they worked if you needed the luggage compartments. But a standard trip in this unit, you don't. External and internal speaker, we will try that in a little bit. Side emergency door. If we have somebody that plays with the door while we're en route, we get a buzzer and the light comes on. The buzzer is more attention getting, I think, than the light. We have a active noise reduction system here. If we have something running with a fan, and I will turn the step heater on. We get to a railroad track, we want to make sure everything in the bus is quiet. This active noise shuts off radios and fans with one flick of a switch. And then, so that worked. I turn it off and the fan comes back on. So we know that system works. Then we're going to go up here. We have the parking lights, they're on. We're going to leave them on for now. we have a left direction signal on. We want to check the right side because we know everything on the left works. We're going to do the same thing for the right. Going to look in that crossover mirror. Camera, I believe, can see the blinking amber light, so that's a good sign. We can look in the convex mirror on the side of the bus, and we can pick up the side blinking light. That's good. We will check the back light in just a few minutes when we go to the back of the bus again. So while we're on that turn signal lever, we're going to try our squirter buttons, which is the yellow button on the end of the turn signal lever. It takes 3 or 4 sweeps for it to pump the water up. Once it pumps some water, we take our hands off. It cycles 4 times, and then it goes back to park. The windshield wipers will park down the normal position. So we're happy with that. Our squirters are going to work. Nothing else on here is concerning us. We keep the turn signal to the right side of the bus. We're going to grab the steering wheel, check for excessive play, hit the horn so we know that works. We look at our gauges right now. The bus is off, but it has been run, so you'll get some indications here. Do you need a light, sir? Yeah. And we're going to turn the light on. Up here is oil pressure. Engine's not running, no oil pressure is expected. The water temperature, it's telling us what the antifreeze temperature is like. That's normal for this time with the engine off. We don't have any RPMs because the engine's not on. No miles because the engine's not on. Up here, we have 12.2 volts of electricity. We want to have 12 or more volts to have a good system. So if it starts to run down, we got some lights on, and we're just sitting there without not the engine running, we want to keep the volts above 12. Over here, we have fuel gauge. We got full tank of diesel on here, and then the green lights are the DEF, diesel exhaust fluid or diesel emissions fluid, depending on what school we went to. We have 3 bars of green. That means our DEF tank is full. To leave the property, we have to have at least 2 bars. If it goes below 2, you got to get it serviced. When you get to 2, I'd have it serviced. And we'll talk about that at a later point. Down here, we have air pressure gauge number 1. We're showing 100 pounds of air pressure. Down below that is air pressure gauge number 2, and we're showing 100 pounds of air pressure. That's good. So we've got air. Over here, there's nothing really to check. That's our transmission controls. We go over, actually we go up to our sun visor, and we make sure that our sun visor is not dropping down and hitting us in the face. It's secure and clean, and this one looks good. Our passenger mirror is secure, and we see what we want to see. We see the red light in the back and the tops of the seats, and we can see right behind us, so we can see the kids in the front seats too. That's a very important thing, because we don't want to be turning around when we're driving the bus. Keep our eyes out this way, use the mirror, and it's a good mirror. We come down here, we have a couple of what look like radios. This one is our dispatch radio. To check it, we can key the mic, and we'll get a chirp noise. That's the noise we want to hear, so that's good. Before we leave the property, we check in and make sure we get our dispatcher can contact us. Over here, we have our PA system. The bus has an inside and outside PA system. Right now, it should talk inside if I talk on it. Test 1, 2, 3. That's good. Now, this switch that we talked about down here, external and internal, I go to external, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we can hear outside we're talking. Okay? So we're happy with that. We stow that back up. Down here, there's nothing to check. Our brake is on, our key is in the run position. Down here, we have the fan and defroster controls for the front end of the bus. They have to work. So we use all 4 steps, and we're happy with that. We've now checked everything in the dashboard that we need to check, but we have to go back and check our rear direction signal. When we do that, we're also going to check our child check system, which is the system on the bus that activates when you turn the key off and the bus computer figures you're going to leave the bus for the day. If you've used the red lights at all and you turn the bus off, the computer wants you to go to the back of the bus and make sure there's no kids left on the bus, and then acknowledge that you got back to the bus by depressing a post-trip inspection button, which we will get to. This system activates when I turn the key to off. To deactivate the system, you have to go to the back. But to deactivate the system, you have to have the key in the accessory position. So I'm going to turn it to off. We get that horrible noise, okay? It's not like any other noise the bus makes. So I know I got to reset it, so I turn the key to accessory, and then I get up, I make sure my door is closed, and I walk to the back. And I find my post-trip inspection. when I press this, if it's a good test, the lights blink on the ceiling. The lights blink, the horn's silenced, okay? What you'll find is if you don't give it enough attention and it takes more than a minute, all of a sudden the horn will start to beep too. It really wants you to check it out. But don't be nervous about it. Turn the key to accessory, come back here and hit the button. And that'll cure the problem. Now that we're back here, we have one more light to check on the outside, and that is the right-hand directional. So I have to open the door one more time, and I got a blinking light. My door is secured again. I'm good. I can walk to the front. I'm looking, I'm scanning for anything bad, and I don't see anything bad. Look around. I think we're pretty good. I think we got a bus that's pretty good. And what I have to tell you now is I would sit down on the seat and continue my check of the bus mechanically by doing a brake.
Hi, I'm back, and I'm going to do the last two tests that we do on a pre-trip of a school bus. The first one I'm going to do is called the pump down. The first thing I'm going to do is step on the service brake, put the bus into run. As you can hear, the computer on the bus is doing a self-check, and I had an initial drop on the air pressure of my bus. I'm going to push in the parking brake and keep my foot on the service brake, and I'm going to time 1 minute on my watch. While doing so, I'm trying to see if the bus drops more than 3 pounds of pressure in that 1 minute. It has been 1 minute. My needle has not dropped more than 3 pounds. So now I'm going to pump or fan the brakes. As I pump and fan the brakes as fast as I can, the first thing that'll happen is the wig-wag will drop, and then my alarm sounds to let me know that my air pressure is low. At about 30 pounds, my parking brake will pop out to let me know that the bus is stopped and will not be moved at all, and that it's the complete test. And then I will start up the bus to fill up the tanks. And here we go. There's my alarm, my wig-wag. There, my parking brake came out, which means the braking system is locked. So now I'm going to do a safe start, which is my foot on the service brake, and then starting the bus, and then the air pressure will build back up with the air compressor. And as it's building air at about 90 to 100 pounds, the alarm will turn off, and I can put my wig-wag back up. And at about 120 pounds, the tank will be full, and then you'll hear it escape. There's the alarm off. My wig-wag is up. There we heard. So the tank is full at 120 pounds.
Ready?
The last test we're going to do is called the 50-foot brake test. During this test, I'm going to put my foot on the service brake, push in the parking brake, and put the bus into gear. As the bus starts to drive off, I'm going to step on the service brake again to make sure that it is operational. Once that is complete, the next step is let go of the brake and then pull the parking brake as the bus rolls to test the actual parking brake. Once that bus stops, I will step on the accelerator to test that parking brake to make sure that it holds, and that will be the 50-foot brake test. I'm pushing in the parking brake, pushing the bus into gear, I'm letting go of the brake, and now I'm going to step on the service brake. The bus has stopped. The next time I'm going to release my service brake and then pull out the parking brake. Now the bus has stopped. I am going to step on the accelerator to test it. The parking brake holds. That completes our 50-foot brake test, and now we are complete to do our school bus run.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a learning experience today. I hope everyone has found out how to do their complete pre-trip. Thank you.